Hello, my little ice cubes, and welcome. It is I, your big only sis, Calla Nevermelt, with another episode of Dun Dun Dun. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on episode 6. Sadly, we are halfway done with this anime, and I am not ready because this is absolute peak, and I really do wish that it had 24 episodes, but again, that's just the nature of the beast, I guess. However, though, without any further ado, let's dive into this. So, episode 6. We start off with Seiko and everyone basically getting on to Gigi for, transforming into the evil eye. Granted, it wasn't really his fault, but he still feels terrible because he did go ballistic and cause some collateral damage. So, as they want to figure out, how are they going to handle this, what are they going to do, because they can't just watch him 24/7, even with everyone that they have there to keep an eye on him. They still need to sleep, they still got their own lives to do, etc., etc. So, of course, Gigi feels kind of bad for, well, basically being a burden. That's until we get these really awesome, cool-looking rock stars walking in, only for Seiko to be a buzz-off. We're not interested in what you have to offer, only for them to leave and then come back later and be like, is Seiko here? Because we're the, individuals that she called. Now, basically, Seiko called these guys to exercise the evil eye out of Gigi. However, though, the reason why they look like rock stars is just a side gig. And to top it all off, they, and which is a good thing, mind you, cannot see spirits. They're not true mediums, which is a good thing because according to Seiko, that means that they're not able to be corrupted by any spirits that they exercise, which of course is fantastic. However, though, while they aren't the typical mediums, the music that they play can go, well, loud enough to basically blast through the spirit realm barrier, whatever, to, well, again, exercise any and all ghosts, which that is metal as fuck. Speaking of metal as fuck, I absolutely loved the song, the animation, basically the color schemes, the lighting, the pyrotechnics, and not only that, but it was absolutely hilarious seeing not just Okra and Momo banging their head, but also our Gilf goddess queen, Seiko, just banging her head like she was in a rave. It was absolute golden. I loved every second of it. And again, this scene was epic. I've been waiting for this ever since we got an anime. I've been waiting for this ever since season 2 was announced, and I am glad that they went all out with this scene. Again, the music's awesome, the character design's awesome, the voice acting, whether it's sub or dub, is amazing. Everyone did a fantastic job, 11 out of 10. It was worth the wait. Now, as they're basically rocking out trying to exorcise the evil eye out of Gigi, Gigi's trying to fight back and say, no, please don't take him away, don't kill the evil eye, because, well, of course, sad story. The evil eye is, in technicality, just a kid wanting to play, but was corrupted because, that's just what happens when evil, taints one's soul and mind and well-being. So, of course, Seiko's like, hey, Momo, hold him down, and as Momo does, the thing that happened with the acrobatic Silky happens here, where she sees his, I guess you could say, backstory, if you will, where Momo sees Evil Eye's, whole past, what happened to him, seeing the kids play, and she hears Gigi screaming, saying, hey, please don't take him. All he wanted was just friends. All he wanted was just to play. All he wanted was just to be like everyone else. And yet that sadly was taken away from him. So as this is happening, our guild goddess Seiko decides that, hey, never mind, we're done, stop it. And I do love that she is being respectful, and the band also, oh, which, by the way, I forgot to mention, the band is also a Hayashi rock band, and again, they're not mediums, but they can exorcise demons or spirits due to, again, their music can basically, break through the sound slash spirit realm barrier, whatever. But anyway. So, Seiko's like, hey, listen, never mind, it's off. Gigi and the Evil Eye are officially a part of the family, which is very wholesome, very sweet, and I just love that I guess you could say, overall message here is found family. Everyone is accepted in Seiko's, house under her roof. It's very wholesome, very cute. And so, of course, Chi-Chi's like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I'm gonna try my best not to, touch water ever again, etc., etc. And so, of course, Eri is like, hey, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. She only changes her mind due to Momo and Okavern say, no, we're going to, we're going to help you. Which again, it was hilarious, but I also loved when Okavern sat there and said, hey, I will stay by Gigi's side. He is my friend. He didn't ask for this kind of existence, and I love it. We see just how far he and Gigi have become, have gone to become friends. It's very, again, wholesome. So, of course, they basically board up the holes, the windows, and everything else because it's starting to rain, and again, cold water is a very bad thing for Gigi due to that's where the evil eye, appears. So, of course, they basically, again, board up the entire house. They sleep in it. It is cold as hell thanks to the rain. And as they are, we see that Okran is being the biggest pro, losing sleep for this dude, making sure that he is, okay. And Gigi, of course, is grateful. We also see, of course, Momo is also still slightly, somewhat, kinda, sorta, technically awake. And of course, Eri isn't. She's too busy being asleep. But, and also, I assume snoring. I'm sorry, that's the weirdest snore I've ever heard. But anyway, I digress. So, again, we find out that, hey, Gigi is absolutely eternally grateful, and that Okran is like, hey, I know what you mean. He wanted to pay back Seiko and Momo for their help, but Seiko's like, nah, it's cool, it's fine. Instead, if you really want to help, then help someone else. Like, basically, that whole, the kindness, pass kindness down to others, always help. And I do like that message. It's very sweet. Again, very wholesome. I know I keep using those two words a lot, but it is what it is. And so, Gigi, thanks to Okran, they go back to sleep, they wake up, they have this very, I guess you could say, a sad breakfast. They still got plenty of food, and I just love that Turbo Granny is in this cute little, sleeping bag. It is just hilarious. But, anywho, they go, well, to be fair, they go. Gigi has to say, with Seiko to make sure that, nothing bad happens. But of course, I almost forgot. We also get to see Eri's, morning routine with the face mask, with the, hair, and I love that we see that she is basically the opposite of Momo, who just wakes up, probably fixes her hair with her hands, and then just puts on clothes and just gets breakfast. I love the contrast of these two, individuals. But anywho. So it's time for school. And crap! Sorry, I did forget one thing. While in the anime, the Hayashi rock band or Brave Soul do show their chords, in the manga I don't recall them doing it, especially at the end. They never really showed their chord to, Seiko and them like they did in the anime. Plus, the one dude wasn't, I guess you could say, talking with his guitar. He wasn't even playing his guitar during the pose. It's not a huge deal. It's not a, deal breaker or anything. It was just something to point out. But, anywho, you see that, Momo is basically wanting to get a job. So her two friends are like, hey, listen, you have an issue with getting a job, right? You have a huge history of going to work part-time, whatever, and basically starting shit with the management. Now, this is where we get our first little, somewhat teeny tiny issue. Cause see, the last episode, I think it was Seiko that said Yas, which, mind you, she never said in the manga or sub. Here in the dub, basically, it's you can tell that's localized. It's not about the patriarchy or anything like that. It's more so, she says like basically sticking it to the man. Feels like you go, girl. Again, it's not a huge deal, but at the same time, it is. I know that doesn't make sense. Meanwhile, in the manga, she's like, hey, I just don't like injustice. And, it's simple. But, again, not a deal breaker, but at the same time, it is a bit annoying. However, though, as, she is planning on getting a new job, her friends tell her that this girl, who totally isn't going to be important whatsoever in the future, has a job at a restaurant. Momo's like, oh, hell yeah, let's do that. I want that job. I love how that she said she wanted the job, and it's like, you don't know what restaurant she works in. Maybe you should try to figure out what the, job is first. But of course, Momo just goes in Leroy Jenkins style, and it's like, nah. It's cool. I want a job ASAP. And so, she gets the job. And we see Okavern is waiting for her, only for her two amazing, awesome friends to be like, hey, listen, if you're looking for Momo, she's got a job, and you're coming with us. We see that Okavern, it has like I guess you could say a PTSD flashback, where Avery, it was basically him and Avery in that awkward position, and Momo mistook that. So he's more than likely like, oh no, I don't want Momo to think, we're a thing or anything. To which her two friends don't really give two shits. They basically take him, it's like, nah, you're coming with us. You gotta see her ASAP. And so as they go on the train, he tries to escape. They, grab him, put him down. And then they finally take him to the Maid Cafe. Now, this right here was so hilarious. Because first and foremost, I just want to say, Momo looks adorable in the maid outfit. Like, it's just, she is so damn adorable and cute. And of course, we see that she and the other girl, who again, totally are not going to be relevant in the future, all work at the Maid Cafe, and sadly it ends there. But also one other teeny tiny thing. Apparently, the girl wasn't holding a tray, but in the anime she did. Mind you, it's not a deal breaker or anything, it was just a little change or something that they added. I don't know why, but this episode, all in all, was pretty good. Sadly, we are halfway done with the season, which really sucks. But with that being said, though, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys will like, follow, subscribe, and remember, my little ice cubes, to stay rude.